Ha! Welcome back, Nerding Out on the Creek. If you don't have a pen or a pencil, go get one, because we're going to do math today on a Wednesday, and it's freezing, so I have to keep moving, or else I think I may die from frigid cold. Just kidding, that's so dramatic. It's not that cold. I mean, it's cold, and I can't feel my fingers, but then you don't feel them anymore, so it just stops hurting. Okay. We're going to warm up those brains, because we are talking about scaling again today. Why? Because the name of the game in CrossFit is power output. We want the highest power output for as long as possible. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get intensity. That is how you get fitter. Scaling is the optimal way to increase your to increase your power output, to thus increase your intensity, to thus continue to get fitter. I am a very egotistical, narcissistic, stubborn SOB. I don't like to scale. I effing hate it. It feels like I'm quitting when I scale. It took me about 6 years to figure out I wasn't getting any fitter because I wasn't scaling. And the second I started scaling, guess what? I started getting fitter. It's like they knew what they were talking about when they wrote it in the manual. Okay, well, let's do some math and see why that is the case. Here I am. I'm 170 pounds. This workout has 10 strict chest-to-bar pull-ups, 5 rounds, that's 50. And let's say in a strict chest-to-bar pull-up, I move through 3 feet of space. 170 pounds, 50 reps, 3 feet of space. That is a total of 25,500 foot-pounds accomplished. But in order to figure out my power, I gotta do this little thing called time. So I start out, I do my first 10. Woo, it was awesome. I'm exhausted. I go back to do the net, and it took me maybe like 20, 25, maybe 30 seconds. Awesome. But then I come back the next time and I do 1. 1. And it takes me almost a minute, maybe a minute 10. Then the next time I feel better, I do 2. 2. 1. And it takes me like 50 seconds. Then I do 1. And now I'm not even really doing strict chest-to-bar pull-ups anymore. I'm doing like kipping things, and I'm maybe touching my chest, but whatever, we won't go there. It's just sort of a strict chest-to-bar. Let's say over the course of the 5 rounds, I'm being very generous. It takes me 5 minutes to do those 50. That's 300 seconds. 25,500 foot-pounds divided by 300 seconds gives me 85 foot-pounds per second. You have no idea what that means. Neither do I, because I'm not a physicist or an engineer. But I can convert that to horsepower by multiplying it by 0.0018. That is a 0.153 average horsepower across. Okay, I don't really know what that means. Maybe I could start my lawnmower, maybe. Let's see what happens if I had scaled said workout. And I'm gonna scale it by just reducing the volume. So I'm halving the amount of, I can still do my chest to bars, but instead of doing 10, I'm gonna do 5. And by doing that, I can keep the 5 unbroken, or maybe I can go like 3 and 2, or I can go 2, 2, 1, and it only takes me about 20 seconds average per round. So 5 rounds, 20 seconds, that's 100 seconds. It's still generous, but I was generous over here, so I'm gonna be equally generous. Now I'm 170 pounds, 25 reps, 3 feet, that's 12,750 foot-pounds, right? It's half. I did half the amount of work, force times displacement, but work isn't what it's all about. It's about your average power output. So it only took me 20 seconds per round. That's 100 seconds total. We're gonna divide that. That is 127.5 foot-pounds per second. 0.23 horsepower. I increased my horsepower by 70%. My average horsepower by 70%. That means I had a 70% improvement in my power output across the workout by halving the amount of reps. But I did less work, but you did it faster. And in CrossFit, it is about speed sometimes. And this is a task priority workout, which means this little variable down here, time, is hugely important. Scale yo shit. Be faster. Get fitter. That's what it comes down to. I want to do 50 reps. No big deal. All right, scale the load. Well, how do I scale the load in pull-ups? Well, I can use a band. This band, the green band, removes about 50 pounds. It's about a 50-pound tensile return, I forget the words, whatever. 50 pounds. So I remove 50 pounds from my weight. I did the math here for you already. That's 120 pounds. And now I can do all 10 unbroken. And by the way, I probably am better mechanics and in better position, and I can actually feel that lat pull, and I'm doing a better movement. And I can do all 50 reps. And I can do it in about 20 seconds a round. So now, 120 pounds, 50 reps, 3 feet of distance. My horsepower, my foot pounds, my work goes up to 1,800, still 100 seconds. That's 180 foot pounds per second. Convert that to horsepower, 0.32. I've increased by 100%. I've doubled my amount of horsepower just by scaling to here. Yes, on the surface, it feels like you're doing less work. Yes, on the surface, it feels like I've quit or I've done something and I'm not as good and fit and whatever. Well, guess what? Hey, ego moron, throw it away. Get fitter by scaling loads, scaling volume, scaling distance so that you can go faster and feel what intensity feels like. We are all getting older. We are all not the version of ourselves that we were when we were 20. I guarantee you though, if I at 43 went back and met my 20-year-old self, I'd kick the crap out of that guy because you're smarter, you're fitter, and you know how to optimize what you do have available to you. That's what scaling lets you do. Scale it, strict chest to bars. They're hard as hell. Everybody has to scale. Except for Mike Batista, because he's just weird and he can do pull-ups all day long. Good job, Mike. That was awesome to see this morning. Cool. Have fun. Let us know you got questions. We'll help you out. We'll see you on the creek.